Here's Ziggy. Oh, I thought I tried a different introduction tonight. How's everybody doing out there in the sports card collectible Wild West marketplace filled with investors and collectors and venture hobbyists and friends and foes and everybody? I hope you are doing well. I'm going to take a moment, let the audio kind of sync, make sure everything's okay, check video. I will tell you guys, I do have an electrical storm going on around me. Just giving you a warning. I always have some type of issue. Oh, what is that noise? Oh, that's to remind me to start. I am on battery backup, and I got the cell phone signal working right now. So we'll see how we go. I think we're going to do well on the show. If anybody's in chat and you can give me a comment. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my where's my streamer, man? Got to put my streamer up. Go back to my comments. Just comment that the audio, everything's okay. Let me know. We have a great guest tonight. I tell you what, I'm really getting into this. The feel, the mojo of this show, man. Doing these shows at night. I look forward to them every night. I'm looking forward to have a great guest tonight. I'm going to start with a little news, what's going on around the hobby, some collectible information. We'll pop out, say hi to whoever's in the chat, and then we'll go to our guest and then go to Q&A at the end. So, guys, I hope you guys are out there. Have a great time. Hello, Anthony. Thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate your support. Okay, let me jump into, and again, I'm assuming audio is good. I don't see anybody complaining yet. I'm going into share mode. When you go into share mode, for me, I can't see what the hell's going on. Someday, someone's going to teach me how to use this damn thing. I didn't want to start there. Why did I start there first? I got some really good articles, but, let me start here. We've started there. Look, I want to applaud. I want to quickly take a second and applaud. I want to thank Josh Johnson for finally taking down how to collect cards, get the course, and how to collect cards newsletter. If you see, I had them both saved in my memory here. Both of them take you to this page not found mystery page here. There's no more cards being our monthly newsletter. There's no more classes. I'm going to take 5 more seconds and just give myself a pat on the back. Because I'm the only one who was bitching about this, and it made me feel so good. I'll do a separate video on this somewhere down the road, but I saw that tonight. I don't know when it happened. It could happen weeks ago, months ago. I don't know. I'm glad it finally happened. That's all I can say. Okay, great article here. I talked to a bench clear yesterday talking about Topps. I read the article today about Eisner and caught looking at MLB strikeout. Basically talking about, Topps just wasn't really doing anything. And I'll tell you kind of see that today in their products. Their NFT markets, their products in the NFT market is terrible. I'm going to kill this right here in a second. Their distribution, their projects all seem to be wham together. It's depressing because Topps to me has more name in the hobby for most of us than Panini does. I mean, when we think Topps with 70 years of history. Our parents collected Topps, and our parents' collected Topps. No one collected Donruss besides us. That's my generation, the guys who collected the rated rookie group, right, and so on. So disappointing on Topps there. Shame on Topps. Another quick news, and let me just also point out both of these news stories are coming here from the Daily Hobby, who has updated a lot of great content today. Both these stories are right here. I'm picking this other one. Keep your eye on balls. How many squashed fake memorabilia is getting into this, and faking memorabilia and faking autographs has some forgery penalties around it versus some of the other hobby criminal activity like trimming or whatever, or, whatever else might be there. But this one I think is interesting to see this attention brought to that. The other article I wanted to hit on real quickly, I think it's right here. Yeah. And this is, again, coming from here, college players and packs. We hit on this yesterday, I believe, Sports Collectors Daily. And here you go. Now, here's what's interesting. I've said this all along. As soon as the NLI law got passed, I could have ran down to the local college and started signing guys up to make sports cards. Card killer. If you're out there listening, you could be signing up athletes to do cards. Because, look, this company, Onyx, I've heard of Onyx. Okay, I at least have heard the name Onyx. This next company, I've never heard of Superglow. Superglow Cards. Superglow Cards has signed some agreement with Mac Jones. It signed some agreement with the Daniels. I mean, these are some big deals too. And they made some pretty cool cards. Man, look at this. Now let me ask you: Are you excited about this? Would you be first ever patch autograph? Man, I don't know what to say. It just seems like anybody can make cards now, and anybody can sign deals. And I think there's gonna be a lot of this. And if you think there's a lot of graders right now, and you think there's a lot of breakers right now, think about how many different card companies. I mean, that's market. I don't know. Just wanted to share that with you. Again, we have this one here, right, with Onyx. Leaf's going to get in this business. Topps is going to slowly get into it if they wake up, with Bowman maybe. Anyway, what else did I see here? Nothing else story-wise that I wanted to bring your attention to based on the time I've got. Let me continue pushing through. We might come back to this in a second. Is there a story here? Oh, listen to this.
What's up, guys? Peter from SGC here, and I am here to report to you that times are better than ever. Having said that,
Power just
I
went out
thought
here.
it also would be a good idea to update you guys on what's been going on here with our team. First off, there are more and more of you jumping on the SGC train than ever before, and we are so appreciative of all the support that you've put behind us. Having said that, guys, we have grown so big, so quickly, that we actually have to kind of make a change here. Okay, as I've talked about before, we like to stay in equilibrium. In other words, the amount of cards that we take in should equal the amount of cards going out, because that means that we are providing our customers with the level of service that we promised them. The problem here is too many cards are coming in. I'm doing everything I can to grow this team and keep up with the growing demand. However, at some point, I do have to tell it like it is and kind of get out in front of the problem to inform our supporters exactly what's been going on here. So I'm here to say our current turnaround time is 16 and a half business days. Obviously, that's incredible, all things considered, but in our eyes, it's actually 16 business days too long, and I mean that. Now, the biggest issue at hand is that when we started this new journey, we were at about 3 business days.
This is why I don't like Instagram. I can't fast forward this.
To 7, and now we're at 16 and a half. Well, our posted turnaround time on our website is 20 to
Okay, if I'm not mistaken,
business days.
I want to fast forward
Although
this
it's almost misleading, that's intentional because we like.
It's not really bad news here at all. In fact, they don't announce any price hike, as you can see down here in the news. He's just basically kind of giving me an update that they are growing, and they're growing a lot. I mean, I hear a lot more people talk about them. They're not growing as much yet in market share against PSA, but I have to say, Peter, if you're listening, and maybe I missed this part of the video, but dude, set registry. Set registry, Peter. I don't know why you won't do. Maybe I'll put a comment down here. Set registry. Strip them away, man. You could take them all. Do a set registry. I'm not going to open this. This could be a comment from somebody I know. So we're going to move by that one. Next up, I want to point out that both these products sold out here really fast today. The women's NBA Prism at $274 sold out fast. That means this is going to go really, really fast. Optic, I think on the first of the line is coming up next. It's going to be for sale tomorrow. So keep an eye on this. This is a Dutch oven, $1,500, baking you down to $300. Really not a fan of that. What else did I want to share with you? Okay, some videos. Was there something here? No, I don't think so. I think this right here is the last one. Okay, great video here from Dakota at Sports Card Anonymous. One of my favorite channels I love to listen to. Puts out some awesome content. And this was his rant. And I have to say, this was hilarious. Going off on InvestiCard. And he's upset. And I'm going to go short to the point here because I'm going to get to my guest here in a minute. Basically, InvestiCard rolled out this system, which I heard about this a while back because he was on with Vegas Dave talking about it, where if you deposit cards in their vault, you can withdraw cash or buying power on what you have in the vault to some amount, and you pay some interest back on it, right? And finance personal, not what I call personal finance. Dakota here, Sports Card Anonymous, just bites his head off on how this is a terrible system. He's kind of scam people. They don't see they can make these 24 payments back. They're going to pay so much interest over this. Dude, here's the one thing I'll say. I absolutely agree with you, Dakota. Absolutely agree. But did you realize they're not the only ones doing this? I want to say Vault and or PWC and or Golden, and I can't remember which one, if not all three. We're allowing you some buying power leverage against what you had in the vault as well. And it was a percentage, and there were some, interest rates from that. But I think other companies were doing this. So I think it's a terrible idea because these cards are so volatile in value as it is. I think it's also kind of foolish for the companies to even do this themselves. But I think they're risking trying to get some velocity in the market with cash. Okay. One more quick video. What else did I want to talk about? There's another good video. More questionable breakers that keep coming up here. Extreme card breaks. Again, you're gonna see more of this of the same type of stuff, dude. More people taking advantage of people. So beware of that. I like breaking, but I only break with people that I know and people that I think have allocated, which means they have good prices. So keep an eye out for that. I do warn people. There was another good video out here today. Whoa. I will say I want to applaud Brad over here at a Comeback Card Investor. He did a video breaking down his earnings, and I applaud his transparency. He's very open on what he made, how he made it. Some people laugh at that, some people applaud it, but I thought it was great. I really liked the fact he did that. Also love watching the new Rack Pack video. Anyway, I think that's it for right now. I want to go ahead and I want to bring in our guest. Let me stop sharing real quickly. Oh, my TV just came back on. Let me mute that. That's the DirecTV channel. I know that sounded really weird, didn't it? Okay, so real quickly, let me just say something. The next guest is a Big Card, and I've been following Big Card off and on for a few months. I'd say I don't know when his channel came out, but I want to say it was. I want to say I picked him up after March this year, probably April, May, somewhere in there. And he did a really great video a while back, picking out influencers and people he likes to follow and why he likes them. And I have to say, man, I was really happy he mentioned me. It just warmed my heart. It was really awesome. And it's not the only reason I mentioned him, but I really like his channel because he reminds me of what I started with and what I was trying to do when I got my channel going. I also recently talked to him today about some NFTs, so I'm going to bring him on, introduce him to you guys, and then we'll open this up to Q&A. Hang in there, guys. Here is Big Card. Big Card, how are you doing tonight, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I just have some electrical problems, but we'll deal with it. I think we're pushing forward okay.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Thank you for having me on the channel, man. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you. And again, let me first of all say it. I'll say it several times during the show. If you haven't already, go over and subscribe to Big Card. Right? We need to support each other, first of all, but also really great content. You do a lot of short content. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, a lot of short content.
And I like that. It's easy to digest. Go ahead. Tell us about your channel and when you started and what's your spin.
So I started in February. I collected cards for a long time, but then just with life, stopped collecting. And then I was at my cards and my comics were at my dad's house. And so I went over there and I was like, Dad, let me get my stuff back. I want to get back into it. And so at first, I have to be honest, Ziggy, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sell off my stuff. But then I started opening up my boxes. And I started seeing my Pete Rose autograph and I was my Michael Jordan rookie. And I said, no, I cannot sell this stuff. There's no freaking way, And so I wanted to just make a channel. Literally the first video was like, oh, look, I just got all my stuff back. I'm going to sell it. But that quickly changed. And now, it's turned into what it is. And,
did you sell anything?
What's that?
Did you sell anything or did you keep everything?
I have kept everything. Now, since then, I've never sold a card until, I don't know, 3 months ago. So since then, I was like, you know what? I want to buy cards to flip, to sell. See, because I've never done that. Mm-hmm. With all the years of buying cards and stuff, I always bought as a collector. And it's just what I enjoyed. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try this out. And I bought a bunch of cards and I bought singles, one of here, one of there. And I cannot sell those cards. So now what I'm trying to do is I'll buy a few of the same card. And then I'm like, all right, I'm more open to selling those. If I have a duplicate or 3 or 4, whatever, copies of that one card. So that's where we are. And the channel is just me just showing if I see a good deal, if I see a card spike, if I see something dipping, a quick short, something 1 minute long.
Yep.
I'm super busy, as everybody is. And so it's easy for me. So it's kind of like, it's a benefit for me too, because I don't have to spend so much time making a big video, big long, video.
Two quick questions come to mind. One is, where are you buying and selling cards primarily? And secondly, are you only on YouTube? Are you doing IG, TikTok? Do you keep your videos short? Like, are you doing TikTok as well and IG, or just YouTube?
I did at first. I was going everywhere. I was IG, I was TikTok, I was doing it all, and I got burned out. So now I do everything on YouTube, and then when I feel like it, I'll go on TikTok or IG, and so that's just what I do as far as content on other channels. I know I have to be better about it, but it's tough. It's tough.
I understand. Let me ask you this: what motivates you to do it?
At first, again, I was like, I just want to have a platform to show off my cards, and maybe people contact me to buy my cards.
Yep.
So that was the motivation at the very beginning, and now it turned into just having fun. Like, just want to share. I had a long stretch where I was just showing my cards. I was literally making a short showing cards because it's just like, for me, they're special. They're special.
Yeah.
I remember years ago picking them up.
Yeah.
Going to the local card shop, hanging out there with the other, people from the area, talking what sports or whatever it was. This was I wasn't playing fantasy, back then, fantasy sports. So, that was the hobby, like having fun. And so, now I have made friends. Literally, I can call these people friends through the channel. Like we'll talk on the phone. Just before this, right here, I was talking to somebody who I met through the channel, and we talk and
That's
we chit chat. And I have another friend that through the channel that calls me and says, "Hey, bro, this just dropped." And that's another thing I want to get into is wax. I never got ripped wax, so I was always buying singles. That was just my thing.
Raw
so
or graded?
No.
Raw or graded?
Raw.
Raw. Okay.
Raw. I just, for the first time, because now I'm more. Before it was just buying singles raw, and that was my whole experience with collecting. Now that I'm in here, I'm trying to I guess get deeper into it. Well, the game has changed now. Now
it has,
I don't remember if grading was really that popular. It wasn't popular back then. It wasn't really that big of a deal. But now I see, like, you have to get your stuff graded. So now I'm grading stuff for the first time. I sent a lot of my cards from my personal collection to get graded, and so I buy on eBay for the most part. Now, I've tried.
Are you still waiting for cards to come back? You still waiting, Ben?
Oh, to get graded? Yeah, Pure Graded X. I'm waiting for Pure Graded X. When I get those back, I want to do a video just showing all the different slabs and whatnot. I think I'll have like one of each, at least.
Nice.
So
these are PC cards you're grading. You're not grading these to flip.
No. I did send to Pure Graded X. I did send some Marvel cards, and I did send. I can't recall which card it is, but a card that I have a few of, and I'm probably gonna look to selling those. And I'm not sure. I know the move is PSA. Everybody, you got to go PSA. But I'm not that person. I'm not a PSA fan at all. I feel that SGC, there a 9 at HGC or a 10 at HGC, I'd much rather have that card than a PSA because I can save a few dollars. And to me, it's gonna be, if I crack them and I look at them both raw, am I gonna be able to tell which is the PSA and not? No, at least not me.
Well, it's funny.
I get a little emotional here about it because I feel like it's not right. It's not right.
Well, I totally agree. In fact, you're right about grading. So I came into the hobby in 2015, In 2017, I would see there were some Facebook groups I was in where if you graded cards, the value was so much more. And that blew my mind. I'm like, man, it wasn't like it was 50%, it's like 2, 3x. And if you got a black label, it was big. And at the time, man, BGS is who you graded with. It was all BGS. And it was all levels of gem mint, right, because of the subgrades. And again, there were pristines and there were black labels. In fact, I remember in 2016, 17, a friend of mine taught me to buy absolute glass cards. Okay. These are redemption cards made of glass of the players. There's no autograph, no relic. He says, grade those with BGS. They always come back pristine or black label. And I have to tell you, that's the truth. I've never seen one not, because they're perfect from the manufacturer, right? Where they'll get hurt is on the surface, but the edges and everything are just perfect. It's a perfectly made card. So I remember I had a Ben Simmons that was a pristine BGS 10 that I remember selling for, I think, $1,500, which to me at the time was crazy. This is 2017. I'm like, wow. Right? And I remember that because this is when his silver cards were worth a lot of money as well, which in 2017, most cards had to have autos on them, or they had to have a relic. Like, no one paid for a shiny card only, right? They paid for, and I say shiny, and for my friend Pepino Man, you didn't pay for fractors, right? You paid for autos and relics. That's what people paid money for. And then there's been like this big shift. I mean, I will say in the last 2 years, with everybody coming, I think the biggest problem is there's so many people came in who just weren't educated, and they made simple decisions like, hey, 10 is greater than 9.5. That's the BGS. If you look at BGS, most BGS cards are going to grade 9.5 because they're so strict on the 10s. So when people look at it and they go, well, 10, like my favorite, the comment I bring of all time is, if you watch Kendrick Perkins, right, he did a video that became a meme of him sitting there holding, don't sell me no card unless it's PSA 10 or something. He made some PSA 10 comment. I forget what it was, but, I don't buy a card unless it's PSA 10. This is Kendrick Perkins, right? He was on ESPN. And after that, it's like everybody out there wanted a PSA 10. So I do think that eventually that will swing back. And I think the more educated collectors will start targeting the BGS 9.5s with subgrades, or the BGS 10s or the SG. And now there's too much going on, in my opinion. You grade everything.
Yeah. I think they're not with the prices now.
You're not just in sports cards. You got into NFTs as well, right? We're talking NFTs this morning.
Yes.
Can you share your knowledge of NFTs with me? And which came first? Was it the sports card, getting back in sports cards in February, or was it the NFTs? Which triggered which?
It's definitely the sports card. It was first.
Okay.
Sports cards was first, and then at first I was just making sports card content, and then I got into the comics because I had comics. So I was getting comments of people saying, "Hey, if you have comic books, post. We want to see them." Because I was just showing off the collection, really. And so I was like, all right. So I started showing the comic books off. And so not until recently, through people from the channel, and that's just something that I always have loved about the hobby. You make friends, and we chit chat, and we share, and we learn. And sure enough, through the channel, somebody who I've met through the channel, Dr. Strange, he told me, hey, he's into the NFTs, and I said, I'm interested. Educate me. And sure enough, gave me a quick little crash course on it. About, I don't know, it's probably been 2-3 weeks now, and I've bought some NFTs, comic books. I want to buy. It's just I want to buy it all. It's just I don't have the money.
Now are you only doing the VV NFTs right now? That's the only thing you bought, and you're doing comic books, right?
Yeah, I'm only doing the comic books right now. I tried to get the Enterprise, and by the way, the drop today for the big Enterprise, the scale 1 of one of one is the drop was what was it, 120? I think it was
130.
130. And so right now I checked, it was 155, 160. So it's a little bit of profit, but something interesting, the other one, the 1000 or the smaller scale one, that one is selling for $54, and the drop was $60. So actually,
it did sell out.
Did it sell out? I'm pretty sure it sold out, but people are selling. You could get it right now for less than what it was on the drop. So I'm noticing that, man, you kind of have to play that game. You don't know.
So say for me, it's interesting. I've been following VV for a while. Okay, there's another channel I follow. This guy named, I think it's NFT Jeremy. He's huge into VV, pumping V, and I will say pumping. That's not the right thing. He loves VV, and I follow the coin and everything, and I'm still skeptical. There's some things I just don't get. Like I don't like their gems, and like they're hard to cash out. Liquidity's a challenge. They've got some really good technology, I guess, licensing, right? So my point to this is that today I watched your video this morning where you did the 1 minute clip on the Enterprise, and I also follow the Gala. I don't know if you follow the Gala. He's another YouTube content creator who did a clip on it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, dude, I am a freaking Trekkie hardcore. Like, if I get a tattoo, it might be a freaking Star Trek sign. Like, I've even told my sons they're gonna have to take a Star Trek test for my will, and how they pass the test will determine how much money they get. Right? It's all on Next Generation. I love Star Trek. It. So, and let me also say this: Topps has those Mego dolls they've been doing, right? Which are these physical dolls. And they've had some Star Trek characters, and I have been sitting there, dude, patiently turning them down, going, I really want that. I really want that. But when this thing dropped today, I was like, damn it, I want this thing. So you and I were texting back and forth. Yeah. And I'm like, is this really going to sell it fast? This is a lot of money? I don't know. This seems crazy. How's this going to work? And then I hit the button instantly, dude. As soon as that thing dropped, I hit the button, and it comes back sold out. And I'm sitting there in shock. I'm like, how in the hell does that happen? That was brutal. So I quickly went over, and I went to the Borg ship, and I love the Borg too. And I bought one of those. And then the other thing I was talking about, what I don't understand, and you kind of cleared this up, is you have an option on these to buy the 1-to-1 ratio, which I guess is life scale, or to buy the one that's model scale. I'm thinking, well, who the hell is going to buy the life scale one? Why would you want you to walk around in it? And you explain that to me in this virtual world that they're talking about you having when you. So I'm imagining today, I'm thinking, well, one day I'm going to have a virtual world with my big ass Borg cube in the sky that I got today. And it's not investment at all. I'm not selling that damn thing at all. This is a collectible to me. That is something that I enjoy. I might never buy anything. Now, I will tell you, the comic books kind of interest me. Can you talk about the comic books? And I know we're going NFT right now, and I don't care. I'm watching my numbers of people drop, but that's okay. The comic books, because there's a chance in the drop to get rarity.
Yes. The way it works is you go into the drop and you pay it's $6.99, and so you don't know what you're gonna get. You have several different options that you can possibly get. You get the common, the uncommon, the rare, ultra rare, and then the secret rare. So you have 5 different ones, and so you it's luck of the draw.
How soon does that show up in your account when you buy it? You wait? It's not instant, right?
No, it's a half hour.
Okay.
I know there's people say, oh, if you have a common, it's going to show up earlier or faster. I don't know. People, I forget what it is, but I guess they give out the books separately. Like,
can you buy Can you buy multiples at one time, or you can only buy one per transaction?
It's one per transaction, but you can buy repeatedly, right? As long as it's not sold out, you can continue to buy right then and there. And if you can get that secret rare will sell for thousands of dollars.
So just to clarify for the audience, let me explain this. What they're doing, which I find cool, is they're taking traditional classic comic books, putting them in an NFT format so you can read it like a virtual book. A lot of people have these virtual comic books, right? No, some people have subscriptions to them. And I like reading comic books. But in this one, you own an NFT version of it. You have a minted number of it. It's yours. And they did a classic. Like I bought one in the aftermarket today. I bought that one. I bought Amazon. I bought The Amazing Spider-Man, Amazon. I bought The Amazing Spider-Man. And you can read the book, right? And I bought the common. The common cost me, I think it was $6 or $7 or whatever.
Right.
But in the drop, when the drop happens, so tomorrow's drop is the Hulk. So all I know is it's going to be the Hulk. The only thing that's going to be different is the cover based on the rarity, which is done in that randomness. So, and I was also told that tomorrow that you really just need to be ready because this thing's going to sell out fast as well because it is the Hulk. Now, I will say, I think I'm not into this at all as an investment. I'm not. To me, I'm going to spend $6 to buy a comic book that I can put in my little collection. And hey, maybe it has more value because it's rare or something, but that's it. You know, if I get 2 tomorrow, I'd be really happy.
Right. That's how I go into it because, you know, I have my comic books and these things are so old. I don't want the kids messing around with them. I don't want the kids reading through them. Something like this, I can give to my kid, show it to him, and he can read through it, you know?
Yeah.
And no harm, no foul. We're good. So that's what interests me. And, you know, versus the comic books. It's just, to collect and to read. Piece of history.
Yeah, like to me, it's funny. I would think that they're going to do more of these because I've always teased guys who are into comics who get them in their cases. I'm like, well, how do you freaking read the comic anymore, right? So to me, it makes sense that somebody, it seems to me like right here, I'm thinking you should be able to mint an NFT with the physical comic that you got in a grade. So when you get the slab, here's your slab, and then here's an NFT version of it. So I can read it. You know what I'm saying? That would be really cool. And maybe the NFT even had the information on there of the slab, the owner, and everything. They could go together. I don't know. I just think that's really cool. Like I said, I like comics, but I like comics to read. I don't have any graded comics. I don't want to grade comics because I don't want to put them away and not be able to touch them again. It seems weird to me. You know, my light is way off here. I got a big shadow. Let's see. Let me check. I definitely have scared off the sports card guys talking too much NFTs. Let me see if there's any questions here. I want PSA Modern 1 Rare. Not sure I'm shopping on CMOC now. Is it because we started talking NFCs? What's up, man? Enjoying the content. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Any questions? Feel free to put those in. So let me ask you, what are your plans for the channel as you continue to go? Do you have a routine, a regular format of when you put content out? Is it more comics, NFTs? What are your thoughts?
It's a mixture of everything. It's still mostly sports cards. I try to every week go in and give an update of one of the 3 major sports. So I try to rotate that. So, you know, I'll do baseball, you know, just kind of overall. These are the biggest movers, you know, and so that's what I still want to continue to do. But something I do want to incorporate is inviting people from the channel to do just a show where we talk like we're doing here and how I've done recently. Just record and we just chit chat. We'll talk wax because the thing is, I don't know everything. There's just so much to it. I understand that there's other people who are really good with wax, really good with singles or grading or whatever the case is. So that's what I really want to do, and which I've had people, you know, do. And that's what I want to have, just content where we're just chit-chatting. So maybe one day it'll be a little chit-chat, open, you know, kind of open mic here and there. We just talk different things. You know, one day I'll mention some NFTs. And then, of course, I'm always going to have the shorts with little quick bits and pieces of content, easy to digest. People on the run, on their lunch break, can quickly look, okay, this short is about this and keep it moving. They can go about their day.
Yep.
And
well, I'll tell you, man, let me know. Yep. Go ahead.
Well, one thing, the guys last night we were recording, and the guys that I've met through the channel, we were just chit-chatting. They said that something that they think can be really good for the channel is to do auctions for singles, cards and stuff, or even sealed wax, do auctions. So that's something I was like, oh, that's interesting. So we're probably going to talk about that more.
That's cool, man. Let me know. I would love to come on and talk about it. I think an open, forum night would be great. And I love the idea of, like you said, getting people to talk, share their knowledge. And you're right. No one knows everything. You learn a lot listening to other people. Do you follow or watch the Hobby Hotline on Saturday mornings?
No, well, it's, Saturdays are tough for me, so, but, there's a lot of content that I try to get as much as possible. I follow a bunch of people, but, I definitely need to set aside some more time to consume more content.
I only mention them because they're very open format where they encourage people like yourself to join them, to talk, ask questions. They rotate hosts, so it's not the same people every week. It is a challenging time. I'm the same way when I'm with the kids on the weekends. I might not be around at all on Saturdays. It's difficult, so I understand that. I'm also going to mention, by the way, one of my favorite videos was when you had your wife, I believe it was, answering questions about the sports card hobby. I find that interesting. I saw something similar that I saw an interview with wives, I think on one channel sometime. I think wives secretly must think we're all crazy. Now, there are some wives who really get into sports cards, right? Who really see the value or whatever, who are really, I don't know, they really love it too. But I thought that episode was hilarious. I thought it was great. Her knowing like what PSA was and some of the things. It was very funny.
Yeah. I was surprised. And that was not rehearsed, nothing. I literally said, sit down, we're going to do this. And she knows what PSA is. Because, for my birthday, what have you, she'll go and buy me cards. So she's very elementary, and she knew what PSA is. I was like, holy moly.
Which is scary. Like I think you pointed out, right? I mean, the fact that your wife knows who the hell freaking PSA is. Now, here's another funny thing. And I've done this before. Take a PSA slab, a BGS slab, take other different slabs out, take it to your next family picnic, and have people pick their favorite one. PSA is gonna come in last almost every time. Pure graded X is gonna come in high because people like the customization or the shiny. They go, oh, this is pretty cool. BGS does well because they like the subgrades and the gold label if you have a 9.5, whatever. And then they look at it real closely. It's a much sturdier case. Some people like the SGC. My point is PSA is the least desirable case by people who know nothing about the hobby when they touch it. Just from what I've seen, my experience.
I think aesthetically, I agree. I love the Beckett slab. I love the HGA is nice. I haven't had the PGX yet in my hands, but from what I can see online, they look very nice.
Here's another thing about BGS. Every is sealed in a plastic bag. It's like a one touch that's been like a penny sleeve that's been sealed, which means the card is actually protected against like mold, water. I mean, that's a huge freaking deal. In fact, for a long time, most of the $1 million cards, right, that were being graded were either vintage that no one cared about, or they were BGS because you sent an autograph card to BGS because you got it protected in the bag, you got the grade on the autograph, you got the subgrades. BGS was the preferred grade. So anyway, here's a quick question that came in. What area
is that? Where do I live? I currently live in Orlando, Florida. I grew up in New York City. I came down here when I was 26 years old, and I've been here. It's been like 16 years or so.
4 or 5 years, man. 4 or 5 years, right? Don't give away your age. I love the Orlando area. I went to school in Lakeland, which is and I grew up.
You just west of,
the beach on the west coast. So I love that area. Also, you got a strong card community down there. Did you go? You went to the show, the Card Con show, correct?
Did I go where?
Oops, did I lose you again? Did you go to
You
the
broke
Tampa
up
show?
there. No, I
Did
didn't.
you go to the Tampa show this past weekend? No.
No, I didn't go. I didn't go. Just again, the baby had an ear infection. It's like if it's not one thing, is the other. But there's a
man.
local show here in Altamont that I try to make. They have it every other week or once a month or so. I try to go whenever they have it.
So you got a good community down there too. I don't know.
Yeah, yes,
There
there's
I
a good
go.
community here. The
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So you've
now.
got several people down there. You've got Fantasy Football Quest. Andy's down there. Michael Ham, his channel, he's down there. Boris is down there. You got Millie Pops in the area. You got Leighton Sports Cards. You got Lineage Sports Cards. Man, there are so many people down in that area. Have you met people locally or just online?
Just online. There was, gosh, I don't remember his name, but I recognized him from YouTube. I did meet him in the Altamont card show. I saw him there. But
Boris?
I'm trying to remember
The bearded guy?
It's two guys, one tall guy and one short guy.
Is that breakout cards? Ryan was on last night. They're down there as well. They're in the Tampa area. One of them goes, I think Steve goes to Orlando for a UCF, and the other one's a graduate. But there's, like I said, Florida's it's a pack full of sports cards. In fact, I have a friend of mine from New York. He was in Binghamton. I believe he's relocating down to Orlando right now, and he's going to
really
do cards in that area. Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
It's just, and it's funny. That's where it was in Bradenton, Florida, that I remember. First of all, I remember going to the baseball games down there, the spring training games, and getting autographs from the players. I met Barry Bonds back in 1986 when he was a Pirate, right? I mean, that's how long ago. I was, of course, very young. And then I remember going to I remember riding my bike to the baseball card shop to buy 1984 Topps baseball cards because I wanted to get a Mattingly rookie, which I did get one. I was so I remember I come in every day and go, how many packs are out of it? Did anybody open a Mattingly yet? I was asking the owner. No one bought any packs today. Oh, good. I couldn't wait, man.
Yeah. So you're a Yankee fan.
Actually, I was then, but I was young. So I became a Mets fan in 86. Okay, so that was 85 when I was chasing Mattingly. But 86, I liked the Mets because remember the Mets won, right?
Yeah.
I remember watching the Mets World Series. My brother collected Darryl Strawberry, and I collected Don Mattingly. And that was our PC growing up. And then we collected everybody else too. I had Gooden cards and he had Clemens cards, all of which are worthless now today. I mean, just it's disappointing because I remember then too. We're all oh, we're gonna have I remember my brother and I would trade our baseball cards back and forth over 10 years with this assumed value of hey Chris, I need $10,000. Can I trade you the baseball cards for cash? And I go, yeah, here's cash. You give me the cards to hold on. We kept swapping the cards back and forth like they were worth something. Turns out they were worth nothing. And I got stuck with them at the end. So a lot of good memories, though. A lot of good memories.
Absolutely.
Well, man, I'm going to go ahead and
question.
Yep, go ahead.
Did you get into dibs?
Did I get into dibs?
Yeah, the dibs. It's the fractional ownership app.
Yes, I did. It's crap.
What did you think?
It's crap.
Yes.
I mean, I want to know, why is it so crappy?
There's no rhyme or reason why these cards the value that you have in a card goes down, but yet the actual card value in real life goes up, but then in dibs it goes down. Yeah, how is that possible?
Look, okay, so we're going to go a little longer here. Screw it, we're in overtime here. Let me say this. I got into dibs. I also got into collectibles. I did not do Otis. And it drives me crazy because in collectibles, it seems like every time people do collectibles, they get bought out and you make money in collectibles. And I keep saying to myself, going, what the hell did dibs do wrong? I don't know. The best I can say is that collectible has a much, 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 much better marketing team. Because when you really think about this, that's really what this is. And this is why I don't like fractionals, okay?
Okay.
Because to me, fractionals are not at all about the collector. And when they started the story about, hey, would you like to collect something you can't own? Would you like to have a piece of Mickey Mantle that you can't have? That's not what this shit's about at all. It's about, hey, how many times can I make you buy and sell a piece of Mickey Mantle so I can make fees off you as a transactional company? That's all they care about. I mean, that's really all they care about. So, like, what I had a problem with the collectible, and they never answered this, but with the car they valued at $6 million, it appears that these companies like Collectible and Otis, Rally Road, Dibs are soliciting sellers to sell their fractional ownership of the card. You see what I'm saying? Like, they go after a guy. Let's say I see a guy pull a card. Hey, man, why don't you sell 30% of that on this platform? You can retain ownership, or you put it in our vault, whatever they make some agreement with that person, but they're soliciting them for that. I don't like that at all. As an example, Dibs has Jeff Wilson as an investor. Right? I'm pretty sure a few of Jeff Wilson's cards have shown up on Dibs.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't think that's like, I don't think that's bad of him. But the way I look at it is Dibs can sit there and go, hey, we've created a platform that we can help any big investor. If you've got a card like, say, Trae Young, Emerald to 5, you know, and there's only a few people who are going to buy that, it's hard to find a buyer for that, right? But if I have a platform like Dibs or Collectible and go, look, give me your cards, big seller, and I'll get maximum value for you. And I'm just going to fractionalize it off to a bunch of people who can't afford this. Because the reality is there's only so many people who can spend a couple $100,000 for these cards or willing to do that. But there's thousands of us who'll pay $1 or $2 for a fraction, especially when we see the returns going on. You know what I mean? And when it goes to Dibs, I think Dibs has terrible marketing. I also don't understand why the hell they're using NFT at all in it. There's no NFT utility at all in the damn product at all.
You know, for me, and I didn't want to like trash, you know, another business or what have you, but man, my experience was very poor, and I gave it a really good try. I went and I bought several different fractions of different cards, and seemed like no matter what I did, it lost money. I went in on the, you know, the drop or whatever the term is, like as soon as it would open, the pre-sale, what have you.
Yep.
I would jump in there, and as soon as it went live, the card value just dropped, and it was ridiculous. And then, as I mentioned, the cards would go up in value if you were, you know, on eBay or what have you, but in Dibs it went down.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No matter what, you were losing money.
I know what you mean. I don't know. Like I said, that's poor marketing, because Collectible is doing a phenomenal job. They're selling out. They're having these. In fact, they had a guy today announce that the shareholders rejected another buyout. They're getting so many damn buyouts in the Collectible. They're rejecting them. But Dibs, wow. I don't know. It's just poorly managed. I don't understand the NFT part at all. Otis, I don't hear about. I think it's interesting too, because they're, again, I'm just not a fan of the fractions. I've tried 2 of them, but I'm not a fan. You're going to go ahead?
I was going to say, I haven't tried Collectible.
Well, I'm not a fan of them. Like I said, I have an account, and I'm not a fan of them, but you probably will make money with them. I probably should stop being stubborn and just use them and make money, because I think they're doing a very good job. Like, I made a video the other day about they're doing a very good job collecting influencers. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but they've gone out to influencers they've got to bring onto their channel. They've been doing this for a while. They brought some influencers on before and tried to do a comedy show or a trivia show. Now they did an agreement with Lucas Tigers and Bronze, where every Sunday they do a show on Collectible. They brought Jeremy from Sports Cards Live on their show. So they're doing a lot. They're partnering with Starstock on some stuff. But what makes me think about this, here's the thing I think about when I see all that is I go, well, where's that money coming from? The money's coming from transaction fees. You know what I mean? Right. Again, it's like, what I don't understand is, like, when you look at breakers, right? Like, you look at coffee breakers who continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, hey, Coffee Breakers is great. I'm like, yeah, but where do you think that money's coming from? It's coming from us, the people who pay for it. I'd rather go to a breaker that I know who's breaking in his house, that's been breaking for 10 years with allocated cases that I trust, and he's doing it at the best price he can for the people that are his customers. Instead of going to Coffee Breakers just because I can have Steve Aoki touch my cards and pay a premium for it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, but that's me. That's me.
No, I agree. Totally agree.
Anyway, it's funny you mentioned the dips thing. Dips is a complete flop, man. Did you take your money out of Dips yet, or you still have a balance?
I took the money out. I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to. But
and there's a fee for that, right? Like a $25 fee or something.
Yeah, man, I got it was bad.
It's ridiculous.
That's why
I haven't closed my account. I think I still have some money there. I'm too angry to close it. I keep it as a reminder to not do fractionals, maybe. But yeah, check out Collectible. Ezra, if you're listening, man, I'm a recommended Collectible. I don't know if it's
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I've heard of it. I've been on their website. I'll check it out.
But here's my biggest concern with that, right? Is that it's easy, in my opinion, to use that to manipulate the market. It's just too easy, in my opinion, right? Because if you have the masses, you go, hey, we have happy hour. We're gonna be doing this, Anyway, here's a quick, great show tonight, guys. Ziggy, you need to put together a video TV guide for hobby YouTube content and getting harder to keep up with. Cheers. Hey, that's a good idea. A little TV guide. I feel like I watch too much goddamn content. Hey, real quick shout out quickly to Dakota here. I did mention you, Dakota, in your rant earlier on in my video tonight. So I really appreciated your video there, his rant on InvestorCard. And then last comment here on Ponzi scheme. Problems with my vision right now. I don't know. I'm getting old. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're at just under an hour, which is, what I'm always trying to do. Big Card, man, dude, thank you very much. Again, first of all, thank you again for your very kind video that you did a while back. I thought that was awesome. I think, again, what I love about this, I love community. I love shouting out other people. I like helping other channels. I look forward to having you back on some night.
Absolutely. I had fun.
I really appreciate it. In fact, I'll be honest, it's one of the challenges has been coordinating and getting people on every night. So far, we've been good. But there's going to be a bank of people that I'm going to be calling on the last minute. Go, hey, man, can you make it tonight? Because my guest canceled or something.
Yeah.
So I look forward to having you on as you grow your channel. Let me know when I can come on your channel. If you haven't already, I'm going to recommend go over and subscribe to Big Card. He's doing some phenomenally cool stuff. He's covering the gamut. He's getting into some stuff. He's learning. I love his idea of having a content channel talking. I just saw Flipping Steve in here. Flipping Steve, let me just quickly mention, dude, Big Card is a big fan of yours. I'd love to see you two guys do a collaboration back and forth. I know he would love to have you on his channel. In fact, your Instagram is Big Card Flip, right?
Yes.
So anyway, it's just great to see everybody, man. Great community, guys. Thank you again for supporting the channel tonight. Be back tomorrow night live. We got another guest. Got the week filled. I got tomorrow night and Friday night locked in, and I'm taking off Saturday and probably Sunday night and do something else. But man, thank you again for being here. I'm going to go ahead and kill the channel. We made it through the storm. Have a great night, guys. Treat people the way you want to be treated. See you guys tomorrow night.